Hey guys, welcome. Hold on, I'm a little behind. I was watching something. I'll show you guys. Thank you, True Texan. Hold on. Hey, Missing but Unforgotten. Give me 1 second. All right. So welcome everyone. What's up, Kimberly? It's so good to see you. Kimberly, Lacey, Amber, Missing but Not Forgotten, True Texan, Nan, Rody Girl, Sly Angel, Denise in the house. Heather, did she get the candle? Cindy, Kaz, first one here. Hello, Nellison. Hey, Baby Blue. Hey, Lily. Hey, Tinker. So I also want to let everyone know, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Always good to see returning subscribers. Hey, Joy. So tonight, oh my. So I don't know how many of you guys listened to Burnt Toast last night. I was given a heads up about her live. So I kind of like skimmed through it. It was like 2:30 in the morning. So I kind of just like skimmed through it. Oh my God. Her lawyer is slapping Betty around like a John would slap a hoe. Hey, Debbie. And she's too stupid, narcissistic, or dumb to even grasp it. I don't get it. But like legit. Okay, Patrish. Then why are you here? Don't worry. You don't have to worry about being here anymore. Bye-bye. So, yeah, it's just like when I thought it couldn't get worse, it so got worse. I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, wow, really? And she doesn't get it. She just doesn't grasp it. And then I heard she didn't even answer. Why wouldn't you answer the response, Betty? I thought you know about law. I thought you know all about the law. And when I tell you, the lawyer literally fucking bitch slapped her, I mean it. And she doesn't even grasp it. She doesn't even get it. So we're going to go through some of Burnt Toast Live, but I want to show you guys this first because it is fucking awesome. And this is why I was late, because I was watching this. You guys got to check this out. I was so minding my own business, setting up my live, and I came across this on my screen. You guys know how I'm obsessed with, like, you know, getting a camper van and stuff and traveling. Hey, Coffee. Guys, you got to see this van. This guy is a family of 8. I'm sure his kids are young, but I just want to know why I can't find a guy like this. That's all I want to know. This is like, I mean, his looks, but his personality, I don't know why I can't find him. So let me show you guys this video real quick. It's got like 18 million views. So I'm sure, like, you know, YouTube will not strike me, but like content ID or something. Hey, Debbie. So I'm going to kind of skim through it, but look what this guy did to this bus. It is so impressive.
Hey everybody, my name is Dane Irely. My kids call me Big Papa. I've got all right, walking in the front door, we have my my home office slash cockpit of the bus. This is just where I do all my work. We've got my computer screens that we set up whenever we get stationed somewhere, and all my GPS, things like that. Starting off, we have our fridge and freezer. Fridge on one side, freezer on the other, and then we've got our full kitchen back here. So on the driver's side is really just the cabinetry with our countertop and then storage below it. And then on the passenger side of the bus, we have our sink. It's a 30-inch sink, and we've got.
Like, look at that. He's got a full sink. He's got an oven in it. I'm like, wow, this is only the downstairs too. This isn't even the upstairs. This is just the downstairs.
Got a 2-burner stove and an oven there as well. A little bit of storage on this side. We wanted, we did this whole farmhouse style, and we chose to do an induction oven just because we didn't have any gas in the bus other than that would have been anyways. So we went ahead and just did the induction oven. We did a 2-burner because with the cutting board and the rack on top of it. So back behind the kitchen, we have our dining area. And one of the things we really love about this space is really all the windows. We've got these big giant windows. That was one of the reasons why we bought the.
Yeah, there's an upstairs, there's 2 bathrooms and a shower on the middle floor. I was like in awe by this. I was like, holy shit, I gotta go live.
Bus in the first place. And so we get all the natural light in here. The backs of these seats fold up to create a dining room table. Dinner as a family is really, really important to us. So that was a big deal. Then we've got this whole area that's just full of storage where we can, the kids have their cereal and things in here in the morning.
See, I love the windows too, but the decor is very plain. Like they need to like make it more homey. That's the only thing I didn't like. There's no like decor in it.
We've got a lot of the food that stores in there, and that goes pretty much all the way down to the floor. And then above it, we've got our air conditioning. We have 2 air conditioners here. We've got one for while we're driving and another one for when we're parked. So one of the things with these 2 AC units right here, we don't really feel like this one is pumping all the time. So here towards the back of the first level of the bus, we have our bathroom. It's a smaller bathroom, obviously. The toilet sits really low. That's because we've got some access panels there that need to be able to open. And with the bathroom, we've got a macerating toilet. That just basically means that it pumps everything up to the black tank that sits higher than the toilet is. So this is just our little bathroom down here, sink, pretty basic stuff. And one of the things here is that this is not the only bathroom. Yeah, so I mean, the real reason that we wanted to try something new, something so drastically different than we'd ever done before, is just that we felt so tied to move around in here and take my shower. It's got the Nautilus door on it that we really love because it just hides out of the way really easy. And this, we cut this door or the shower into the storage area of the bus so that we'd have a full 7-foot shower. So the shower head is above me, and we can get all the shower we need without scrunching over and having too tight of a space. So the other thing with this shower is that we chose to do with some oil to make sure that it's nice in here too. All right, so up here at the top level of the bus, we have our washer and dryer. This is a ventless washer dryer combo unit.
Have you ever heard of a washer dryer in one unit? I have never heard of that, but I guess they have them. But it's a washer and a dryer in one unit. Never heard of that before.
We wanted something a little bit bigger, but we ended up with this one. And it's just really nice to not have to switch out laundry and things like that. Just to have the one unit in the bus. It doesn't take up as much space. So with this smaller washer and dryer, this is a 2.5. It's LG 2.5 cubic washer dryer, which is a lot smaller than what we were used to in our house before. And the unit we wanted was 4.5 or something like that. And this definitely is smaller. And because it's smaller, it means that we're either running it all the time or we'll have to go to, laundromat periodically. We try to avoid that as much as possible and just try to use this. But it means that it's running all the time. And it really means that we've got to be hooked up to water a lot, just because, it is using water. So there's some pros and cons in this washer and dryer for sure. So another unique feature with this bus, and I don't think we've showed this to anybody, but one of the things we wanted to make sure is just cleaning the bus. With 6 kids, obviously, we're going to have a lot of dirt moving around.
This feature is the coolest feature I ever saw, except I personally wouldn't put it under a washer and dryer, but I don't know where it goes to, but it's cool as shit. Check this out.
In here and stuff. And we didn't just want to sweep that all down the stairs. And so up here, we actually put it's called a sweepo vac underneath the washer and dryer. So right here under this washer and dryer, we just sweep everything right to it, push this button, and it gets everything in there. And it's easy to clean out. Takes all of our, makes cleaning the upstairs much easier, and we're not just brushing everything downstairs for a bigger mess. All right, so moving back in the bus at the top of the stairs, we have the kids' bunks. Each of the kids has essentially it's a twin size bed. It's an RV twin, and then they've got these shelving units at the end of their bed as well. This is the only one that actually has a window, and that's just because this is the child that we feel most comfortable having a window without sneaking out, you know. So this one's got a window, and each of the kids kind of picked their own space. As we go along, they'll be modifying and kind of personalizing their own space. Right now, they all look fairly similar, though. So moving back a little further, this is the second bathroom. It's just as small as the one downstairs, maybe a little bit smaller even. But that's the one that the kids primarily use because it's right here next to their beds. So back here at the back of the bus, there's this seat. I use this. My wife uses this to read the bedtime stories to them when they're going to bed at night. And then on either side here is closet space. So they've all got their stuff hung up here. Being that there's 8 of us in this bus, we've minimalized a lot. So it's not like they have a ton of clothes to put back here, but we've got, you know, the towels and things like that back here as well. And then the kids will use these hooks to hang whatever they feel like they need to. All right, so as we move to the front part of the bus upstairs, we've got a little bit of a bench here, and then we've got, this is really our living area. The backs of the chairs do the same as downstairs where they fold forward. And we've got one bench that's full of all of their schooling stuff because we homeschool the kids. And then another one that's full of all of our board games and fun stuff. Here, this one. And then we come forward, we've got another mini split unit. Again, just like downstairs, I wish we had a second one of these up here. I think it would have just made things a little more comfortable. Second, kids to have area that they could play. So it folds down where they can play with anything that they need to. And as we move forward from here, we have our king bed and kind of our area. We use this area, obviously, my wife and I. This is our bed that's in here. This folds up with a headboard and a footboard at night. But during the day, we wanted the kids to have area that they could play. So it folds down where they can play with anything that they need to. We store a bunch of their toys up there in the front of the dresser. And I mean, you can see the Nerf blaster hanging out over there and whatnot. So this is kind of the kids area during the day. And then at night, we convert it into our bedroom. We really wanted to make sure that the kids areas didn't have to, you know, most RVs, the kids areas have to be converted, especially when there's a big family. We wanted the kids to have their own very private personal space where they can kind of get their own retreat. So we decided to make our area the area that would be convertible as we go. Yeah. So all.
How awesome is that? My only question is, what did he spend? I know he spent $10,000 on tires, but what did he spend on this? If he spent $100,000 on it, he probably could have got a Class A, or Class A, the big one. So I don't know, but I was like in awe by it. I was like, this is the coolest thing I ever saw. I'm like, this is just awesome. And it seems they just bought it or something. But yeah, this was one of the coolest conversions I've seen. I was like, that is so awesome. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'll be honest. I don't think I could do it with little kids 24/7. And don't get me wrong, I love my kids, but I also like sending them off to school and getting a break. I don't know how I would be with them 24/7, 365. And I mean, we traveled a lot. We went places. We drove a lot of places. My kids were great traveling, but homeschooling, I don't know. I just feel like it's like enough is enough. Hey, Chrissy. Like, I like when they go off to school, you know, like when they were young. Okay, mom gets a break. Even when I was a housewife, you know, all right, mom gets a break. Now I can get stuff done. So I don't know, but these people like spend the time. But what I liked about what he said though is that he was going to spend, like, they were going to reevaluate every 6 months and then decide if, you know, this was still working for them. So it's just interesting. And that's why I was late today. I apologize. Going off school sanity saver. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you wouldn't do it again, sweet one? How come? I want to do it. I don't know if I want to live in a tiny home, but I definitely want to but I definitely want to live on the road for a while, like a year. Oh. All right, let's get down to this. He spent 120,000. Okay. That's not bad. Toasty always reviews people. Well, now we're going to review Toasty. All right. So I was skimming through it. Oh. Come on. Come on, buffering. Stop. Thanks, Debbie. I took that in New York, and then I just put flowers behind it. Come on. All right, there we go. So, yeah. Betty, I don't even know where to begin with your absolute fucking stupidity. But we'll get into this. Illinois Supreme Court notice requiring in-person appearance of BHB on September 27th. So Betty must go in person. Bullhorn Betty, QB, through her counsel lawyer, provides us notice requiring BHB to appear in person for the evidentiary hearing on her motion. Now, for those of you that don't know, evidentiary hearing, I can't even say it right, is exactly what it sounds like. It's an evidence hearing. On her motion, what'd you do? What'd she just do? All right. On a motion for protective order on September 27th at 10 a.m. at the courthouse before the judge presiding over civil actions at that time, you are further required to produce original copies of all documents. Come on, seriously. Why is this fucking buffering so much? You are further required to produce original copies of all documents. Oh my God. This buffering is going to drive me insane. All right. Ugh. All right. For the judge presiding over civil actions at that time, you are further required you are further required to produce original copies of all documents you rely upon in your motion for protective order at that time of said hearing. Basically, what that means is Betty, you wanted a protective order, prove why you want a protective order, and make sure you do it in person. The gist of it. I don't know what Burnt Toast has said, but that's really the gist of it. I'll put things in layman's terms. Yeah, this is just a basic motion. Filed on August 19th. Now, also, so you guys know, the judge can deny that. This is what her lawyer is requesting. Doesn't mean it will get granted, but most likely it will. But it's what her lawyer is requesting. It's not a definite. It's just a motion filed. The lawyer is the one that, I mean, the judge has the final say whether he forces Betty to come or not. All right, motion to compel discovery responses. QB, through a counsel, moves this court to order BHB to respond to discovery because Betty is not saying anything. Because she's reaching for anything she can, Jenny. BHB was served with discovery and failed to timely respond to the same. Her basis, a single meritless objection. BHB does not know whether she is answering as a plaintiff or counter defendant. Now, this was a kind of bitch slap because if you're going to represent yourself, you need to know this stuff. So the lawyer is basically making fun of her. Oh, where you going? No, not done yet. The lawyer is basically totally making fun of her. But will that work in his favor? I don't know. It really depends on the judge. They could get a judge that, the lawyer is being an asshole and the judge can see that. But odds are it probably won't. All right. BHB is stalling given her other baseless motion practice clogging the docket. The court should determine her objection is meritless and require her to immediately respond to the discovery. By time this motion is heard, she will already have had 2 months to respond. If you haven't learned from Critical K, I'm going to reiterate again. Do not ever ignore a motion. People don't take the court seriously enough. You have to respond. Even if you respond and say, screw you, you have to respond no matter what. Especially 2 months. Every single court document is 30 days. And judges don't particularly care for pro se litigants, but they absolutely care about pro se litigants who don't do their research if you're going to be an attorney. BHB sued QB in June. After being served, QB hired undersigned. QB filed her counterclaims against BHB on July 28th. Also serve a set of interrogatories and a set of requests for production about the same time, Exhibits 1 and 2, respectfully. BHB objected. The motion to compel follows. BHB sent an email hinting at sanctions and disciplinary proceedings. She demanded that undersigned not communicate with her outside the court and presumably by filings as well. Her only concession to this point was that if QB stipulated to BHB's demands, BHB would consider communicating with undersigned. That would be called bribery, and that does not pan over well. Thus, the specific instructions to not communicate with BHB and the threat of sanctions or disciplinary proceedings, undersigned could not hold a Rule 201 conference, which I'm guessing is a mediation. I don't know for sure. I haven't looked it up. It's the first time I'm reading this, but I'm going to guess that it's mediation. Accordingly, undersigned states that BHB has made herself unavailable for personal consultation. Okay, Betty, if you're acting as an attorney, then you need to be an attorney. You can't ignore the opposing party. The rules allow for discovery in the form of interrogatories and requests for production, respectfully. And that's right here. If you guys don't know anything about the way these are written, he's quoting the Supreme Court ruling for the judge, because judges are dumb. But this is a Supreme Court ruling of where it says interrogatories and requests for production is all good. Responses and objections are due within 28 days. Illinois Supreme Court states must be in 28 days. And then he quotes where where the judge can find it. Greater than 28 days have passed and no responses have been received. BHB's baseless objection should be rejected and are ordered to respond to discovery. Instead, BHB made a single objection defining the issue. QB is not designating whether QB is propounding discovery as the defendant or counterplaintiff, and or the reason BHB is unable to respond to any discovery for fear it is being construed as a responsive pleading. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Hey, Margaret, and I mean that. It is dumb. Simply for the fact that BHB, again, you need to answer. If a opposing party sends you interrogatories, whatever, you have to answer them. There are questions. If you don't choose to answer them, then you file a motion stating why you won't answer them. But doing nothing will not work in your favor. I'm not even an attorney, and I know this. Again, BHB's partial knowledge of the law gets in the way of this case progressing in an efficient manner. Responses to discovery are not pleadings. They are not even supposed to be filed. Correct. Something BHB violated when she filed her objection. Discovery is not filed because it is not a pleading. BHB waives nothing by answering. He is 100% correct. And if she looked it up, she would know that too. But she didn't. And I can tell you, he is laughing every sentence that he writes. He's cracking up. Because this is probably the funniest lawsuit he's ever done. More important, BHB's own resuscitation of law shows her argument to be baseless. On page 3 of her motion, she states that she waives personal jurisdiction if she files a motion. She's filed many motions already. 2 months to respond to discovery is plenty. As to her request by more time, by time this motion is heard, BHB will have had 2 full months to respond. That is plenty of time. She should not be granted even more time to respond. If she asks for a response within 30 days, if she asks for more time within 30 days, then she would have a good chance that he would extend it. After 2 months, depending on when she asked for it, it's Illinois state law says you got 30 days. So again, if she asked for extra time within the 30 days, odds are he'll grant it. If she hasn't asked yet or she's waiting until court, he's going to tell her to stick up her ass. BHB should be ordered to pay QB's legal fees because, QB's fees caused by BHB refusal to participate in discovery. That's up to the judge. BHB is making everything harder here. Ignoring the frivolous nature of her complaint, she is multiplying proceedings with meritless filings and refusing to confer with undersigned. Now, what I agree with the attorney about, if Betty was complying and if Betty was doing everything that Betty was supposed to be doing, and then she filed all these other stuff, absolutely, I would agree. But that's not what's happening. She's just ignoring and just filing on her own. Like, you can't do that. So BHB is proclaim knowledge of the law. Never proclaim knowledge of the law in a state that you're not in to a lawyer that is a practicing lawyer of that judge, of that state. No. Like, I personally, I have a general knowledge of civil law because I played my own attorney for 3 years, but you're not going to see me go to the Supreme Court or the state of Illinois and said, I know the law, blah, blah, blah. No, I know how to file a motion. I know, legalese, but am I Emily Baker? Absolutely not. Even had she not, she is subject to the same rules as represented litigants. That's what I said earlier. Hey, Kayla, and I totally agree with that. So here, he's just putting in case law for the judge to look. Honestly, judges were all lawyers. I don't know why judges are so dumb across the world, because they always have to put in case law, so the judge doesn't have to look it up. He can go right there and look it up. Like, shouldn't you know all this by now? The rules provide that a party unreasonably complying with discovery is subject to orders, including barring of further filings, barring from maintaining claims, and claims be dismissed. Supreme Court ruling 219C. While QB believes BHB is turning this case into a farce, these sorts of relief may be inappropriate for the first discovery violation. Even so, the rules also provide the court may award a sanction of expenses and attorney's fees resulting from the discovery misconduct. This sanction may be more. Thank you, Kim. Love you too. May be more appropriate at this state of the litigation. The objection is so facially absurd that it can only be considered unreasonable. Her own objection reveals its lack of merit. Most importantly, this motion is required because BHB refuses to confer. There is nothing reasonable about that. BHB's weaponization of the judicial system cannot be counteranced. This court should sanction BHB for unreasonable obstruction of the discovery process. Undersigned will promptly provide an affidavit of attorney's fees and costs for the court's consideration should it determine sanctions under Rule 219 are appropriate. So he's just throwing it out there like a normal, would do, like a normal lawyer would do. Conclusion. Wherefore, QB asks this court to order BHB to immediately respond to all outstanding discovery, order a fee and cost. Hold on. Oh, I went too far. To immediately order a fee and cost. Okay. Affidavit be filed, ruling on the papers as to the amount of any sanction and provide any other relief it deems appropriate. So basically what he's saying is, Betty, you're an idiot. I'm laying this out for the judge as easy as I possibly can, so the judge also sees you're an idiot, and we'll take it from there. And then you're going to pay all the thousands of dollars that it costs for me to be here. And depending on the discovery, yeah, the judge will probably grant it. And Betty's objection is going to be, well, she didn't pay for her attorney. Someone else did. The judge don't give a fuck. As long as the lawyer got paid, that's all they're refunding. He's not going to say, oh, well, Queen Bee didn't pay her own attorney, so no, you can't be awarded. No, that's not the way it works. Sorry. All right. QB's first of interrogatories to BHB. QB, by and through, requests that BHB answer the following interrogatories under Supreme Court Rule of Illinois, Rule 213, and all applicable orders and rules. BHB must provide written responses, objections, or both to these interrogatories within 28 days of the service. Now, this was done in July, I believe. 28 days have long passed. This is where I truly believe that the attorney bitch slapped her harder than you've ever seen. And I will explain. All right. These interrogatories seek responses as of the date on which you respond. However, these interrogatories are continuing and must be supplemented as required by applicable rules. If you become aware of further responsive information after answering these interrogatories, then you must supplement your answers, promptly providing us information. Additionally, if at any time you learn that an answer given to any interrogatory was incorrect when given or is no longer correct. Now, before I go on, let me just say this. Interrogatories in this kind of case are ludicrous to begin with. I don't really know what Betty has filed. I've only seen what QB's lawyer has filed for the most part, and I've heard other things. But the level of interrogatories, hey, Zelda, that he's asking for is comical in itself. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But he's not doing it, really, in my opinion, he's not doing it to get an answer. He's doing it because he's playing her like a fiddle. And she's so dumb that she doesn't even get it. She's going to say he's harassing her or something. When it comes to interrogatories, the lawyer can ask for whatever the fuck he wants to ask for. Doesn't mean that she has to give it, but she does have to answer. But he's going over the top, and it's funny. Additionally, if the term document is synonymous in meaning and equal in scope to the usage of the term in Supreme Court of Illinois Rule 214, including without limitation any electronically stored data or information, drafts and non-identical duplicates constitute separate documents, attachments, exhibits, appendices, schedules, and enclosures to documents are considered part of the same document. The term thing refers to any tangible object other than a document and includes objects of every kind and nature, including phototypes, model specimens, computer discs and tapes, videotapes, and audio tapes. Like, who the hell has videotapes anymore? Concerning, meaning, constituting, comprising, relating to, referring to, reflecting, evidencing within the bounds of the Supreme Court of Illinois rules and applicable case law. Including, but all right, so this is all just jar. All right. Identify when used concerning communications means to identify the participants of the communication, to identify the non-participating recipients of the communication, the date, time of the communication, the nature of the communication, i.e. telephone call, in-person, conversation, instant message, email, letter, and the subject matter. Now, I skipped over something. All right. And or all will be construed conjunctively or disconjunctively as necessary to bring within the scope of a request all responses that might otherwise be construed to be outside of its scope. Identify, when used to identify a person, means to provide their name, their address, their phone number, their social media accounts and handles, and their email addresses. So that means that the lawyer wants Molly, the lawyer wants Dolly, the lawyer wants JLR, the lawyer wants anyone that Betty is named. Identify when used concerning communications, means to identify the participants of the communication, to identify the non-participating recipients of the communication, the date and time of the communication, the nature of the communication, telephone calls, in person. Like, he wants blood. That's what he's asking for. Total blood. Hey, PJ. The past tense includes the present tense and vice versa. The singular includes the plural and vice versa. Unless otherwise indicated, the interrogatories cover the period of to the present. This is called a big bitch slap to Betty. If the answer to each interrogatory will include such knowledge of information as is within your possession, custody, or control, including without limitation your agents, attorneys, accountants, consultants, and others acting on your behalf. If any information is withheld on the grounds of privilege, you must include the identities of the persons involved in the communication, including the name of the person who made the communication, the recipients of the communication, job titles of all persons involved, the date the communication occurred, the subject matter of the communication, and the nature of the privilege claimed. Let me just tell you, my custody fight had interrogatories. Any divorce has interrogatories. We had to provide a quarter of this information. That's why I say that the lawyer is bitch slapping her hardcore. If you object to any interrogatory, this one's really important. If you object as overly broad or unduly burdensome, then you will answer those portions that are unobjectionable and specifically identify the respect in which the interrogatory is allegedly overbroad or burdensome. He is 100% right. And he is like giving a crack pipe to a crackhead and slowly pulling it back. That's the best way I can explain it. He's giving it to her and he's pulling it back. He's giving it to her. He's pulling it back. He's telling her exactly what to do. If you think that I'm asking too much, then just answer it in the best way that you can, and then tell me why you think it's too much. Okay, conversation I had with Molly 2 years ago has nothing to do with this. That's it. He's telling her exactly what to do, and the dumbass is not even catching it. She just ignores it. That's a surefire way to lose. Surefire way to lose. Teresa, I'm trying to put it in layman's terms for everyone. All right. Interrogatory 1. Identify. Noting the definition of identity in these interrogatories requires you to provide their address, their phone number, their social media accounts and handles, their email addresses of all persons providing information used in the investigation of facts and preparation of, having been consulted during the investigation of facts, and preparation of, otherwise involved in preparation or investigation of your complaint. For each identified person, briefly describe the role of the individual in investigation or preparation of your complaint. My answer to this, none of your business. That'd be my answer. Interrogatory number 2. Their address, phone number, preparation. Oh, wait, what did we skip? That was number 1. Noting the definition of identity in these interrogatories requires you to provide their address. Same thing as 1. Address of all persons, including using the investigation. Used in the investigation of facts and preparation of, having been consulted during the investigation of facts, and preparation, having been consulted during the investigation of facts, and preparation of, or otherwise involved in preparation of your discovery responses in this case. For each identified person, provide the information they provided to you. Now, let me tell you where this gets sketchy. Nobody knows what Queen Bee has, meaning it's the internet. People come and go all the time. People leave, creators all the time. They come back to creators. They leave creators. It is what it is. All Queen Bee has, because Betty's going to say, nobody helped me. I did it all on my own. Or I don't know the information. That would be my answer. I don't know her information. I just know her screen name. That would be me. But I'm like that. I wouldn't give anyone up, but Betty does give people up, so she would give everyone up. So Betty could have a mod that left her and went over to Queen Bee's channel, which is more than likely probably what happened. Someone close to Betty went over to QB. All QB has to do is present one person that has proof that she helped Betty. And if Betty lies, Betty loses. So again, we don't know what QB's got in her pocket, which is why my answer is never lie to a court. There's so many ways Betty can go about this, and I'm not about to give it to her, but there's so many ways that she could go about this and get out of all of this. But she's not going to listen, and I'm not going to fucking give it to her. I'm really not. But at the same time, what he's asking for is ludicrous, but it's a bitch slap. It's funny to me. And he's doing that because it's one of those, hey, why shouldn't I? This girl's a fucking idiot. So I might as well throw everything at her. We might get something out of it, we might not. But either way, I'm going to make Betty look like an asshole. That's what he's saying. Whether she answers this or not, I'm still going to make her look fucking stupid. That's what he's doing. And honestly, it's really not that hard. Exactly, Panda. I also seen a witness lie too. So I'm not saying she has anybody, but Betty doesn't know if she does or she doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Queen Bee might not have anybody, but she might. And Betty needs to always think, what if she does? Now, I know Betty is too narcissistic to think like that, but she needs to be one step ahead. And one step ahead is, what if she does have that person? I need to be prepared for if she does have someone, if she does have a witness. And Betty's too narcissistic to think like that. Interrogatory 3, identify all documents reviewed or consulted to prepare your complaint. Now, let me also state, the thing about number 3 is, from what I understand, Queen Bee's attorney has been asking for actual documents as to what you're suing her for and has yet to receive them. So he doesn't know what he's actually, what his client is getting sued for, because she's just a rambling mess of a bunch of motions without anything concrete. She keeps filing all this stuff, but hasn't answered him. Number 4, provide all information required by Supreme Court Rule 213. Rightfully so. Number 5, identify all platforms, tools, and means you use to communicate in your role as a victims' rights activist, victims' right advocate, and social media influencer, including but not limited to SMS messaging, iMessenger, social media messengers, Slack, Discord, Microsoft Teams, Zoom. I mean, he just named every fucking thing under the sun. Instagram Messenger, including email provider, Google Chat Hangouts, voicemail providers, WhatsApp, Telegram, Ring Central, Grasshopper, Charity, Zoho Click. I mean, he just named all of them. And honestly, I really think that this dude is sitting back laughing his ass off as he's typing this, because I never even heard of half these platforms. But he is just bitch slapping her. absolutely bitch slapping her, and she doesn't even grasp it. Interrogatory number 7, identify all platforms you use to store electronically stored document. Like, none of this matters. It absolutely does not matter where she stores her documents. I mean, in all honesty, these are like the dumbest interrogatories I've ever seen. But it's funny it's scary if you don't know how interrogatories work, but you have to answer them. I agree, Panda. She does deserve it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to answer it, even if it's ludicrous. And he told her that in these documents. But if you understand interrogatories and you understand legalese, you totally get how this guy is bitch slapping her all over the place. Identify all platforms you use to store electronically stored documents, including but not limited to proprietary servers, Dropbox, Microsoft, OneDrive, Microsoft SharePoint, Google Drive, BoxNet, Citrix, Blackbase, Ignite, iDrive, Wasabi. I thought Wasabi was whatchamacallit, was stuff for sushi, or other third-party server or storage provider. Interrogatory number 9. Oh, I went too fast. Provide a detailed description of the damages you claim, ensuring you provide the amount of damage sought per claim asserted and your means of calculating the same. This is rightfully so. He should be asking this. But notice how he throws that in at number 9. So there's 8 other questions that are so ridiculous before that. Number 9, he's playing her like a fiddle. In my opinion, he put number 9 on purpose as number 9, because she's going to be so flabbergasted at the other 8, she probably won't even read number 9. Provide the amount of damage sought per claim, then provide the means by which you calculate the same at disposition of the dispute. If you claim no monetary damages, please state as such. He's 100% right. I mean, I can't believe all this time and he still doesn't have that information. That's crazy. This just might slow beats out. I don't know, Lacey. I heard the 5 minutes I did actually listen to Toast. She said that Betty went on her channel and said that she believes the judge is going to rule in her favor. That just showed me how whacked she is. No, Betty, the judge is absolutely not going to rule in your favor. I would put money on it. He's trying to overwhelm her. He's trying to bitch slap her, knowing that she's not going to answer it, but also knowing that she's not going to provide the right way to answer it. She's either going to ignore it, which I think he had a hunch she was going to do, just completely fucking ignore it, or she was going to answer it half-assed, which there's a certain format that you have to follow when answering this. And she's too dumb to say that, to know that. So he's just bitch slapping her all over the place. Interrogatory number 10. Identify. Noting the definition of identify in these interrogatories requires you to provide their address, their phone number, social media accounts and handles, and their email addresses. All persons you reference in 18 and its subports, including but not limited to Dolly Vision, Molly Golightly, and JLR. So he wants, as stated, up above, which I don't want to start buffering again, but as stated above, remember the identity part. He wants everything on Dolly, everything on Molly, and everything on JLR, which honestly, all their information is pretty much out there, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. However, the fact that he's asking this, and again, she will not provide a proper way to answer this, which means she's going to lose. And the judge is going to laugh. Because again, I'm not an attorney and I could see how he's bitch slapping her. This is like comical. All right. QB's first set request for production of documents and things to BHB. QB, by her attorney, requests that BHB answer the following request for production of documents and things under Illinois Supreme Court Rule 214 and all applicable orders and rules. Hey, Grandma Sherry, what's it got to do with the others? What do you mean? Hey, Kit, what do you mean, Tinker? No, Betty does not have an attorney. Betty is playing her own attorney. Tinker, what do you mean? It's True Texan. It's gotten comical. I mean, this is like the biggest joke I've ever seen. Oh, because I'll show you after, Tinker, but in the beginning, when I was reading what the lawyer's looking for, he worded it so that it is important. He made sure that it's worded that he's looking for this information. He has not actually proven why he's asking for the information. That's for Betty to do. Hey, Callie, that's for Betty to do. But Betty's too dumb to even look it up and find out how to answer these. She's just ignoring them. But it's her job to answer these interrogatories and say, and I don't know, maybe she did, I don't know, but it's her job to say it's not relevant. But she also, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, but as far as I know, Betty has never given QB's attorney the answer as to why she's suing. QB's attorney, from what I understand, has asked multiple times for what are you suing me for, so I know how to fight it. So I know how I can build my case. And Betty's just ignoring it. So that's why he's putting all of this in there. And in my guess, and I'm just guessing on this, that's why not total reasons, but that's one of the reasons he's making it so hard and ridiculous. Let's see what she does. What she should have done is studied Illinois law. She must provide written responses, objections, or both to these requests within 28 days of service of this document, which is standard Illinois law. These definitions and instructions apply to these requests. You know what, Tinker? It's a repeat. So I don't have to rewind. We'll see it now. Yours means BHB, as well as agents, servants, employees, in-house and outside attorneys, accountants, consultants, corporate parents, affiliates, subsidiaries, or any other persons or entities acting on your behalf. We, us, and our means QB and the agents and others acting on behalf. Now, again, I went through a custody fight, and my ex's lawyers knew, hey, Annie, knew that I had my attorney helping me, the attorney that I couldn't afford anymore. They never asked me for any of this. That's why and we were fighting over a child, and they never asked me any of this stuff. These requests seek responses as of the date on which you respond. However, these requests are deemed continuing and must be supplemented as required by applicable rules. If after providing responses to these requests, you become aware of any further documents responsive to these requests, you are required to produce such information to us promptly upon acquiring possession, custody, or control of such. Basically, if you have any new documents, hand it over. Which is correct. If you object to any request as overly broad or unduly burdensome, then you will answer those portions that are unobjectable and specifically identify the respect in which the request is allegedly overbroad or burdensome. So asking for Molly's address is overly burdensome. So write that in your answer. Betty, Molly, and Dolly have nothing to do with my lawsuit. You don't need their information. Done. That's all she would have had it done, but she didn't. Respond to each of the requests separately. Identify any document responsive to any request as being responsive to the specific request at issue. This guy likes the word responsive. If the same document is responsive to more than one request, identify all requests to which it is responsive. All right, candle giveaway. How many times can he say responsive in one line? I'm just kidding. That's not the candle giveaway. But I am doing a candle giveaway tonight. All documents are to be produced in their native formats as they are kept in the usual course of business. Now, one thing I want to say about the previous chapter, I'm in the previous paragraph, just so if you guys are a little confused with all the responsive this, responsive that, in layman's terms, just provide the documents. That's all. It's really pretty simple. And keep each one on a different form, kind of like the, courts, lawyers having to, quote stuff. What's the word I'm looking for? Footnote stuff for the judge. Same thing. Just keep everything on a separate paper. All interrogatories, one per page. In layman's terms, that's all it is. Dietz loves her candles. Good. I'm glad. All documents are to be produced in their native formats as they are kept in the usual course of business so that defendant can ascertain where are we? Ascertain the files in which the documents are located. Basically, just, one on each page. Each interrogatory, one on each page. Their relative order in such files and how such files are maintained. Electronically stored information must be produced as provided in writer. Notwithstanding the foregoing, if a given request calls for the production of data in a certain format, that format should be utilized. So he's telling her to use writer 1. Writer 1, my guess, and again, this is just a guess. Writer 1, my guess, is the format that Illinois attorneys use and is telling Betty, look, this is what we use when we're using electronic information. Thanks, Irene. When you're using electronic information, we use writer 1. So he's just saying, here's a bone. I'm going to throw a bone at you. Learn writer 1, buy writer 1. I don't know what it is. And use that for electronic stuff. Plain and simple. But she probably doesn't understand any of this. And, put it in order. Request for production 1. All documents and videos identified, mentioned, or referenced in your complaint of which you consulted, referred to, or relied upon in preparing or developing the same. 100% has a right to ask for this. I check mark request production number 1. I totally agree. 2. All written statements or communications sent or received concerning this lawsuit or the factual assertions in your complaint. Check number 2, 100% right. Request for production 3. All written or recorded statements or communications sent or received with any person you refer to in 1B in, I don't know if it's 18 or 1B, including subparts of your complaint for the past 3 years. Okay. So they are asking for recorded or written statements or communications with JLR, Dolly, or Molly for the last 3 years. That's an X because 3 years is ludicrous. Has nothing to do with the present. So I don't agree with that. I mean, I understand why he's asking, but all documents and things that you were required to identify in or which you consulted, referred, or relied upon in preparing or developing its responses to discovery propounded upon you. Okay. He wants the information. Documents and communication you sent to or received from any witness, expert, or otherwise. Again, I don't know if he's entitled to this, but I don't think she answered these, and that's why he sent the interrogatories. Because I remember hearing that she just ignored all these and she never answered them. And I don't know if these are new or Toasty is going back and this is old, but I don't believe she ever answered these, which is why I think the interrogatories started in the first place. All documents and things on which you intend to rely on this case. I agree with that one. Documents and communications you sent to or received from any witness, expert, or otherwise. Okay, well, that's legit if you're asking for a trial. He has a right to see your information. That's true. The opposing party absolutely has a right to see everything that you have that you're bringing into court. That's just the way a lawsuit is. You know, you could have something under your sleeve, but that's only for fancy attorneys because they know how to work it. Because your case can get thrown out if you try doing something slick. Your federal tax return, including all schedules and estimated taxes for the past 3 years. I will have to look it up, but I think the 3-year thing is just standard Illinois stuff. Like, this is probably copied from like a custody fight or a divorce, because 3 years is business, divorce, custody. It's not usually a civil case like this. So I'm thinking like he just copied and pasted, you know, whoever wrote this for him just kind of copied and pasted from standard request for production kind of thing. Because some of this stuff sounds like it's a divorce. Get to the part where BHBS show mental. I'll get there. But that's what I'm saying. I think this is, yeah, standard Illinois proof of loss. That's what I'm saying. That's where I think the 3 years came from. Provide a complete copy of your data for each social media and video hosting website account you use in the form that those providers supply the data, when provided with a chance to specify the production format. HTML is requested over JSON, and CSV files are also preferred. All documents showing or tending to show any form of damage you will claim a disposition of this case. Provide a complete copy of your data for each social media and video hosting website account used. I read that. When provided with a chance, specify the production format. I already read that. All right. Copy of your medical and mental health records for the past 5 years. A copy of all documents and communications concerning, referring to, or otherwise comprising proceedings, any civil suits you have filed or had filed against you in the past 5 years. This request seeks documents including but not limited to filings with courts, communications with opposing parties, communications with third parties, such as all civil proceedings, settlement agreements, and similar documents. A forensically sound image of cellular telephones that you have used in the past 3 years, or in the alternative, the opportunity to inspect said cellular telephone to secure the same. Yeah, this is copied from another report he's done. Oh, she's suing for $150,000. He's asking her to prove she made that much off YouTube. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Copy of this request seeks documents limited to filings of courts. I got that. A forensically sound image of cellular. Why does it keep going back? This request seeks documents including but not limited to filings with courts, communications with opposing parties, communications with third parties, about any such civil proceedings, settlement agreements, and similar documents. A forensically sound image of cellular telephones you have used in the past 3 years, or in the alternative, the opportunity to inspect said cellular telephone to secure the same. Ensure you provide the required affidavit of completeness required under Supreme Court Rule 214. Wow. Just wow. Wow. I didn't know she was suing for 150,000. Where does she think QB's getting 150,000? That's what I want to know. And honestly, how the fuck do you sue for 150,000 without an attorney? You can't sue for 150,000 without an attorney. Like, you just can't. You're gonna sue that for that much, you need to have an attorney. Fucking idiot. All right. Production writer. All documents to be produced will be converted into a paginated version as a PDF and or TFF as provided in the section with PDF preferable. Produced PDFs will be in the form of one PDF file per document, multi-page as applicable. A PDF produced as a paginated document will not be encrypted or otherwise include settings to impair searchability, blah, blah, blah. This is boring. Give me the good stuff. Basically saying the format she's got to use, the resolution she's got to use, how she's got to format it. PDF placeholder generated in any file, the documents that contain color and a manner material to meaning or understanding of the document shall be produced. Yeah, he's giving her he's handing her a bone. This is how it needs to get done. Redactions. File that must be redacted pursuant to any applicable protective order or applicable law should be produced as produced PDFs or produced TIFFs in redacted form with applicable TIFF text files or PDF text layers containing extracted or read text acquired. I feel like I keep reading the same word over and over and over. JLR's suit against Uni was only 30 grand, I believe, which is still pushing it. Yeah, I agree. 150,000. Oh my God. You know what would happen if someone tried suing me for 150,000? I'd say, would you like my dog, my kid? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Parent-child relationships. The association between emails will be preserved. Email attachments. Yeah. This is just copied over from something else, which is totally normal. I'm not saying like he's shady or anything. Lawyers do that all the time. You know, they have like one set of documents for production and it's the same wording. They just print it out and send it. So I'm pretty sure it's the same one. This isn't tailored for anything to Betty. It should produce load files. This is all about the files. Wow, it's like 5 pages of files. Receipt of privileged information, nothing in the SI production, appendix, blah, blah, blah. It's boring. Boring, boring, boring. Hey, Christina, long time no see. We getting out of the boring stuff? All right. Wow, there's literally like 10 pages of just document stuff. All right, appendix, metadata fields to be included in load files. Yeah, I would be totally lost at this. This is where I'd quit. I don't even understand metadata on my own damn website. Shopify now like has this thing like, do you want to add metadata? I don't even know what metadata is. I was like, probably not. But now I see what it is. So yeah, this is all legal stuff that a non-lawyer would not understand at all. Hey, Katie. Yeah, a non-lawyer would not get this. All right. Illinois Supreme Court notice. Now we're back to the beginning, but we're not at the beginning. QB through counsel provides us notice to appear in person, evidentiary hearing. This is what we showed in the very beginning. September 27, 10 a.m. I think she just pulled it back. Is that it? Yeah, I guess that's it. That's why she went back to the beginning. Betty. So now you guys see that QB's attorney completely bitch slapped her, is asking for the world, and he's playing this smart because, yeah, she don't have to answer. I mean, she doesn't have to give him everything, but she's got to answer it. And I really don't think that she's answering it. You're welcome, Irene. Well, I don't know if there's an answer for it yet, Tinker, but QB's lawyer filed a motion stating that he's requesting that she has to show up in court for the evidentiary hearing. Now, that doesn't mean for the final hearing. Evidentiary is just evidence. It's just like Brian Kohlberger had an evidentiary hearing. You show the evidence to see if it's going to go to court. Could it all get thrown out? Judge says, fuck you, stop wasting my time on the 27th. Absolutely. It could totally get thrown out, or it could not get thrown out. And the judge could make an example out of Betty. And if it doesn't get thrown out on the 27th, they're going to see a trial, or at least another court date. So the way Betty is playing this, the judge very well might go to court, because Betty's the one that filed the lawsuit. Now, I can tell you what I know about court. If this was reversed, if it was Queen Bee that was suing Betty, and Queen Bee had an attorney, and Betty was the defendant and not knowing how to file papers and that kind of stuff, a judge would be a lot more lenient towards, look, this is almost like you're fucking bullying her. You know, you're suing her and she's not an attorney. Most judges would have much more leniency for the defendant who, you know, doesn't have an attorney, doesn't know what they're doing, is getting sued and getting, you know, harassed by an attorney. But being that this is the other way around, Betty's fucked, because Betty's the one that filed the damn lawsuit. Again, if you're going to file the lawsuit, then you need to know the laws. If you file a lawsuit, you have to play by the games of an attorney. And I call it games because everything in court is a game. Pro se defendants, I'm just saying that if it was reversed, there would be a lot more leniency towards towards the defendant. But Betty filed this. She needs to know the laws. She needs to know how things are filed. She needs to know how things are done, because she's not being railroaded. She's took this. She's filing $150,000 lawsuit. What the fuck did she think was going to happen? If someone filed $150,000 lawsuit against me, you bet your ass I'm going to get a fucking attorney. That's a lot of money. I'm not going to chance it. I'm going to get an attorney any way I can. If I stand on a street corner, I would stand on a street corner. I'm not losing $150,000. Exactly. Pro se defendants get grace, especially if they're being bullied. Like, that's how I got so much leniency with the Supreme Court of Iowa during my custody fight, I was being bullied, and it was so obvious I was being bullied. So they gave me leniency. Judges gave me leniency. You know, here I am thinking I'm all big and badass. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I did my best, and I won. But they did. Even the Supreme Court gave me leniency. Like, they sent something back to me, like, you filled this out wrong. I said, well, this is how I read you're supposed to do it. And the secretary is like, no, look here and here, and that's how you do it. I said, oh, okay, let me redo it, and I'll send it back. But again, I was being railroaded. So they will have, I mean, they're human. They will have leniency if you are being railroaded. So it's Betty that's thinking that she's railroading. I still can't comprehend it's $150,000 lawsuit. How dumb can you be? And why would you copy JLR stuff when JLR has never won a fucking lawsuit in his life? So why would you copy his? That's like the blind leading the blind. You know, hey, let me open up a business and tailor it around someone who couldn't keep a business open for more than a week. Yeah, I'm gonna practice their business ethics and their business practices because they couldn't keep their business open for a week. Oh, okay. So let me follow what they do. That's basically what she did. Like, she's a fucking idiot. And I'm telling you, I had hopes for her. I truly had hopes that she was going to make a mark. She was going to tell the community, like, you know, this is it. They can't do this anymore. Like, I really had high hopes. Well, those high hopes went straight down the fucking drain. And now it's like I'm kind of rooting for QB's attorney. Not that I think he's such a great attorney. I think he's doing standard stuff. But I like someone that bitch slaps like that. He didn't have to at all either. He did not have to bitch slap her the way he did. But in my opinion, he did it for a reason. And that reason was he knew he was one step ahead. He knew what she was going to do, and that was not respond. And that is the one thing you cannot do, is not respond. Not me. Look at Betty's behavioral problems. But Lacey, I really thought that she was going to, I really thought she was going to pull through. I did. I thought for sure she was gonna, hold on. I thought for sure she was going to be like, you know, I got this, but I thought she was going for like $5,000. I had no idea she was going for $150,000. I mean, that's insane. Absolutely insane. BHB deserves what she gets. I absolutely agree with that. And I also agree that all these lawsuits need to stop. All these lawsuits are ridiculous. It's YouTube, people. Wake up. Stop with the damn lawsuits. Like I said, the only lawsuit that I believe is legit per se is the one against Upchurch. And True Texan, don't hate me for that. But no, I don't mean Nick Mills. I'm talking Kylie's family. And I told him last year he was going to get sued. But out of all these lawsuits, that's the only one that is even halfway legit. But all these creators suing creators, give me a fucking break. It's YouTube. Get over yourself. Everyone's like so narcissistic. Like, everyone thinks they're better than this one, and I'm better than this one, and I'm better than that one, and I'm smarter than this one. Like, just stop. Shit bothers me. And I hear it all over the place. All the legal fund, all of it. I mean, I understand why QB raised money. I do. I absolutely do. if I didn't know, because I don't watch QB anymore, like every once in a blue moon, but if someone was suing me for $150,000, yeah, I'd probably do a legal fund too. I honestly, I had no idea it was that high. I really thought it was like small claims court, $5,000 is what I was thinking. And that's why I thought she was ludicrous for doing a fund, because I'm like, why is she doing a legal fund? What is Betty possibly suing her for? I honestly had no idea it was $150,000. No clue. Like, why? Does QB seem like she has $150,000? That's a hard no. But does she think, the judge is going to be like, oh, okay, well, she doesn't have 150,000, but you're going to owe her $10,000. Like, Betty, your thinking is so whacked and so out there that you're probably going to have to pay Queen Bee $10,000. And I almost, I'm at the point, like, I want QB to win and teach her and everyone else that you can't go around fucking doing this. I mean, that's the point I'm at. Especially after Ickmel's lawsuit. I was like, oh my God, really? Who is Bill asked for VR? I do think BHP would do some time, everything. Oh, I did totally disagree, Jeanette. Totally disagree. Betty is too narcissistic. And Betty, at this point, doesn't have a chance in hell but to win. I mean, a chance in hell to win. She really, truly doesn't. And I hate to say that, but she doesn't. I had high hopes at one point. But being that she's not answering the interrogatory, she's not answering the production, she's not answering anything, she doesn't have a chance in hell. And she could have in the beginning, but she blew it. She totally blew it. And that's sad, honestly. You can't get blood from a turnip. Exactly. It's okay, Angel. But this will teach Betty and anyone else you can't just file frivolous lawsuits. And my issue, Jeanette, I'll tell you my issue with this. If all Betty wanted, legit wise, if all Betty wanted was for QB to shut the fuck up about her, okay? Then when the lawyer, before the countersuit started, all Betty had to do was tell the attorney as an adult, tell the attorney, hey, I will drop my lawsuit if your client agrees to not talk about me anymore and not bash my name anymore. Then it would have gone back to QB and QB would have said, okay, because the lawyer would have advised her to say, okay. So she would have said, okay. That doesn't mean that QB's friends couldn't speak of her. That doesn't mean that Burnt Toast couldn't speak of her. That doesn't mean that so-and-so couldn't speak about her. But QB couldn't. And QB fucking blew it. I'm sorry, Betty blew it. Betty has taken this too far that Betty doesn't have a chance in hell but to win. But to lose. Jeanette, you're living in, I love you, Jeanette, but you're living in purple colored glasses. Betty does not have a chance in hell to win. Her initial filing was ridiculous. Her act, what could have been, and I've said this before, what could have been a solid case from the beginning, she completely fucked up with what she filed. She didn't even file the right stuff. Like, she didn't even show the right stuff. Anything she showed was legit ridiculous. Stuff that wasn't even Queen Bee. It was stupid. But is she asking for anything in the counterclaim? I haven't read the counterclaim. The only thing it seems to me in the counterclaim is she wants lawyer's fees. That's it. That's what I gather. That she's not asking for anything. All right, rose colored. I like purple color better though. Yeah, I use purple for a reason. But you know what I'm saying though? BHB is definitely not as smart as she thinks she is. And not answering interrogatories, not filing things right. In a $150,000 lawsuit, you need to know all the laws of the state. You need to play like an attorney. A judge is not going to award somebody $150,000 from somebody that doesn't have it. Bullhorn getting hit by more than a hurricane. What's up, Captain? It's ludicrous. It's absolutely fucking ludicrous. But from what I gather, the only thing the countersuit is asking for is lawyer's fees, which if QB doesn't get them, she doesn't lose anything. She has nothing out of pocket. That's the thing. She's got nothing out of pocket, so she has nothing to lose. If she loses, she loses. It's taken away nothing from her. So she already has the upper hand. And that's when you know you have the upper hand, it's, you know, she's a lot better off. Yes, Betty was hoping she would win by default. And she's going to lose by default. And QB's lawyer couldn't make it any easier for her. I mean, he's laying it all out. He doesn't have to either. And that's another thing I want to point out. QB's attorney does not have to tell her how to do things. He does not have to tell her how to file things. He does not, by law, he does not have to give her anything. But he's doing it anyway. And he's doing it for one of two reasons. He's either A, doing it because he wants the upper hand even more, or he's doing it because he's like, well, fuck it. Let me embarrass her a little more. Let me have fun with this. And he's given her, you know, everything you could do. Once Betty saw QB, that's Kendra. That's what I'm saying. She absolutely should have. And she didn't because she's a dumbass. And that's when I called That's when I called Molly screaming at her. I was like, Molly, you need to call Betty right now and tell her to drop this shit. I was like, she's going to get embarrassed. And I just don't get it. I don't understand her. Why would you allow yourself to be put in this kind of position? Like, you're just an idiot. But he's a big stomper. Stomps on everything and everybody. She's not going to be able to have these manners to the judge to be a fly on the wall. I know. I thought about going Lacey. But I did. I thought about it. I was like, I wonder if I can get in there and stream it. There's a link if anyone wants to jump up. Oh, I got a star? Oh. Tony, where's Crystal and everyone? I think this is the first live Crystal's ever missed. Joel's own words were, you won't win pro se against an attorney. Absolutely. She's FAAFO? Because she won't win against an attorney. And this attorney is being very nice to her. You know what? Let me look something up. Hold on. Before I say he's being nice to her. I am opposing attorney needs to. All right. Well, this is interesting. I didn't know this. Pro se litigant guide in Illinois. That's right. Kurt, you're in the path of that, aren't you? I'm so glad Phoenix doesn't go to FSU. They shut down the school and everything. This guy will not answer all questions. You need to represent yourself effectively. It outlines the basic steps required to file. You are responsible for learning and following the procedures that govern the court process. Although the staff of the clerk's office can provide general info concerning court rules and procedures, staff is forbidden as a matter of law from providing legal advice, from interpreting and applying court rules, or otherwise participating directly or indirectly in any action. In addition, you are a pro se prisoner alleging a claim. Oh, she's not a prisoner. Thank you, Sly. You smoking weed on the back porch? Oh, it's not coming anymore? So this right here tells you that the other attorney did not need to help her. And Betty did not read this because, again, you are responsible from learning and following the procedures that govern the court process. But federal. Legal advice. Legal representation. If you cannot afford an attorney, if you cannot find an attorney to represent you, you have the right to file an action on your own. Remember, however, that as a pro se litigant, you are representing only yourself and presenting only your claims or defenses. Under the law, you cannot speak for another person, a company, or an entity, such as a club or association that includes other individuals. When you appear pro se, you must follow the same rules and procedures that licensed attorneys who practice in this court must follow. Generally, judges hold pro se litigants to the same standards of professional responsibility as trained attorneys. Think about that. Think about that, Betty. You're not following. This is exactly what I said earlier. Pro se litigants may ask the court to recruit an attorney, also called counsel, for them in a civil case. Pro se litigant. Oh, so in a civil case, she could recruit an attorney? Pro se litigants have no right to be represented by counsel in a civil case, and the court has no obligation to appoint counsel. All this court can do is try to find a lawyer to volunteer to assist a pro se litigant. I wonder if Betty even tried that. Probably not, but I do wonder. The court will attempt to recruit counsel in a few select cases where having an attorney seems appropriate or important. You must first show that you have tried to find counsel to represent you but have been unsuccessful and provide proof of your efforts. The court needs to know other information, which is requested in the court's motion for recruitment of counsel. Betty has not filed any of these. So we know that Betty did not file for recruiting a counselor. If you would like to request a court recruit counsel to represent you in your lawsuit, you must file a motion for recruitment of counsel with the court. The motion should be filed at the time you file the complaint, but it can be filed at any time. A sample of a motion for recruitment of counsel. Court fees, $400. Notice of appeals, $505. Copies, 10 cents. What if you cannot afford to pay the fees? Pay a $400 filing fee. If you're unable to pay his fee, you may be able to have their fee waived. If your motion is denied, your case cannot proceed until you pay the filing fee. If the fee is not paid, case is dismissed. Waive the filing fee. Court's rules of procedures. As a pro se litigant, you should be familiar with federal rules of procedure. These rules set forth the procedural Requirements for litigating cases in all federal courts. It's criminal. You start a new case. You have 90 days after the complaint is filed. Serve the complaint upon the defendant. Defendant should be notified. Blah, blah, blah. For the magistrate judge, you'd be sent a form asking you to have consent to have your case decided by a magistrate judge. So a magistrate judge may handle preliminary matters. The case will be decided by a district judge assigned to the case unless all parties consent. I don't think she tried to do that either. Exactly, Zelda. I agree. Motions fall in two categories: dispositive and non-dispositive. Dispositive motions, if granted, in the case. Non-dispositive motions, if granted, affect the case but do not end. I don't know what that is. How do you submit documents? Referred to as motions or pleadings. You want to ask court to do something, you must do so by a written motion rather than by a letter or notice. Most should be supported by a summary of the law, which means put in case law, which I don't think Betty has done. Supporting the motion called a memorandum. How do you submit documents to the court? Not a pro se prisoner. I'll bet you $5 she never read any of this. If judge dismisses your claims on the merits with prejudice and enters judgment, you may appeal to the United States Court of Appeals of 7th Circuit in Chicago, Illinois, by filing a notice of appeal. In general, a notice of appeal must be filed within 30 days after the judgment or order appealed, as set forth above. You may contact district court, but $500 fine fee. All right. How much you want to bet you never read this? All right. First candle giveaway. Shit, I forgot the word. Hold on. Hey, Dayton. Let me see if he's awake. I could have sworn I just heard him. All right. He's coming in. BHB never thought anyone on YouTube would get an attorney. I hope she learns a hard lesson, but she's way too narcissistic. I totally agree with that. And stop at the legal threats. I agree with that too. What's happening with JLR's lawsuit? Hey, Mindy. I thought that was a joke too. All right. Remember yesterday? The word?
Riz.
Yeah. What are the two words?
W Riz and L Riz.
Okay. Come over here. All right, guys. To win a candle, you have to tell me. What's it? What is it?
W. Just say Riz.
What W is means and what
Riz.
Riz?
R-I-Z-Z.
Oh, R-I-Z-Z. What does Riz mean? What's the other one?
L Riz. It's just W and L in front of it. That's it.
L and W?
It's just W in front of one and an L in front of the other.
So W Riz and L Riz. If you could tell me what that means, you win a candle. In kid talk. You have no clue. Charm? No.
It's kinda.
It's like a new word for kids.
You could say charm, but it's not charm.
You got nada? He tells me I say, I'm like, what the hell is that word? Or woo? Charismatic?
Charismatic. It's close. I wouldn't say it's no. Technically not.
All right, so technically no. Seducing?
Close, but
Close, but no. Spitting game? No, not spitting game.
hmm
What?
spitting game.
It's a spitting game?
Oh, you mean like not like spitting game? It's spitting game. You don't know what that means, huh?
All right, so hold on. The spitting game.
Riz?
Truth it out. Do you mean spitting game, like spit out of your mouth? Or do you mean
Spitting.
another kid term, spitting game?
Spitting
Is it
game?
like drip?
No,
No, it's not like drip.
drip is drip.
Trying to charm the opposite sex.
Kinda. It's not charming though. It's just
Not charming.
It's not really charm.
No, not actually spitting.
Yeah, so it's.
All right,
spitting-
hold on. So truth it out. Go one step further. Because you're the only one that said the lingo. Jizz? No, it's not jizz.
Definitely not jizz. Hating on? No, it's not hating on.
No, truth it out is kind of right with the
Are
spitting.
you asking for the definition of W and L or just Riz?
What?
Are you talking about just Riz?
Both.
Or W and L Riz?
Both.
Well, then spitting game's only one of those. One of them, I can explain it.
What the hell is spitting game?
Spitting game is like swag.
Well, someone else said swag. Like
But
swagger.
it's not swag. Spitting game is like swag, but it's not. Spitting game, like I said, it's kind of like spitting game, but really I mean, I'm just gonna say it at this point. But all W Riz is pulling girls. So like if you're talking to a girl, right?
Yeah.
And you could tell that she's into the conversation, that's called W Riz.
Why is it just called flirting?
Because that's old talk.
It's not old talk.
It's just called being old.
It's not called being old. It's been like that since the beginning of time.
And then L Riz is when it's so bad where you can tell she's into you or not into you, and your game is just so bad. That's when it's called L Riz.
Why is there even a name for it?
What do you mean?
Why can't it just be you're a loser and walk away?
Because
Like some cheesy pickup line?
it's kind of like that. It's like you're actually trying. If you're saying a cheesy pickup line, you're most likely saying it as a joke. L Riz is when you're trying and your Riz is just so horrible that it's just not good.
Why can't you just say your pickup line sucks?
Because you don't use. I can't name you one person that's actually used a pickup line in the whole life I've been alive.
Well,
Or at least when it's worked.
So technically, truth it out. It was a truth it out. Is that your name? Yeah, truth it out. You actually won. So that's one candle done. I got another one to give away. If someone can convince Dayton to go to homecoming and
my
ask a
God.
girl, then he could go. Yeah, truth it out definitely won that one.
Yeah, spitting game is it's just about there. But see the difference. You said swag. Swag isn't game. Swag is just. Oh wait, I have another one you could say. I have another one you could say for a candle.
Oh, according to Google, it means to charm someone.
It's not the charm.
He says Google's wrong.
You can say unspoken Riz.
You can say what?
Unspoken Riz.
Unspoken rules?
Riz.
Unspoken Riz?
Mm-hmm.
Use the W Riz, young man, and get your prom date. There you go. Write your text and tell him.
Terrible, like.
Come on, I want to see you in a tux.
I bet you do.
I do.
But anyway, if someone can get unspoken Riz, I'll buy them a candle. Without Googling it.
Well, you'll never know if they have.
Well,
Google or
I'm gonna
not.
make them take an oath. Hand on the Bible.
Yeah.
I did not Google this.
If they know what?
If they know what unspoken Riz is.
If you know what unspoken Riz is, Dane's gonna buy you a candle.
Actually, how much are your candles?
25.
Oh, that's not bad. Actually, I don't know. That tux. I don't know how much it's gonna cost if I go.
Plus shipping.
Oh, shipping's like what, $30?
Unspoken. Don't have to say anything.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's it. Muscles and mascara. One.
Unspoken Riz is where like you can literally just walk by and you automatically got them.
Maybe she wants to go to homecoming with you.
I want to ask my teacher, but I don't like her anymore.
You're not asking your teacher.
She won't let me ask my teacher.
No.
I wasn't going to. She's a bitch now.
Physical attraction.
Yeah, that's about it too.
But if it's unspoken, why is there a name for it?
Unspoken Riz.
Yeah, why is there a name for it?
Just because it's what we do.
I know, I gotta clean the fan.
Yeah, if you're tall enough.
I remember your dad. I was like, I don't know, he was laying down or something. He's like, do you not clean the ceiling fan? I was like, you're supposed to clean the ceiling fan?
Oh,
He's like,
crazy.
of course you're supposed to clean the ceiling fan.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
I went with Dad once in Iowa. We went to this one person's house, and they were like, "Yeah, trying to clean the ceiling fan."
I don't know what Destiny sent these ashes like a week ago. I don't know where they are.
Maybe she didn't send them at all.
I gotta text her. She may not have sent them yet. I should pick them up. She showed them to me.
Or anyway,
Charm me without knowing they're charmed.
No.
All right, so muscles and mascara.
I mean, yeah, that's probably Riz, yeah.
Muscles and mascara, and truth it out. Email me where to send it to.
Yeah.
Chris said the ability to exude charm or charisma without verbal communication is what my daughter says.
Yeah.
I can't with this teen language, especially bruh. I'm bruh every other day.
To exude charm or charisma without verb. Yeah, that's unspoken Riz, yeah.
I said, he once said mom, so I said yo. He's like, what are you saying yo for? I said, what do you mean? Why can't I say yo?
I've never heard you say yo.
I didn't say it. I texted it.
I've never seen you text yo. You're just like, what?
Well,
You don't say yo. You just say what?
email me at energycandles, ENERGIE candles @gmail.com.
I
What?
still haven't gotten a reason for homecoming.
Take Fluffer.
Fuck no.
Take
He'll
Fluffer.
piss on somebody.
Well,
He'll piss on somebody.
no, he won't.
Yes, he will.
That's why I bark at him, Fluffer.
Took a
Get him.
shit right at the foot of my damn bed.
Go to bed.
I'm waiting on my reasons to go to homecoming.
Because you're in 10th grade and you're on the football team, you have to go to homecoming.
It's not how that works.
Yes, you do. Right, guys? Tell him he's got to go to homecoming.
You really just want to see me in a tux, huh?
No, it's about
Yeah.
time. I want to see you have
In
a
a
girlfriend
tux.
and
No,
with a
you wanna
tux.
You want to see
Yes.
a picture to post on your Facebook and me in a tux saying, "It's my baby's
Brother
first-"
and sister went every year,
I don't give a fuck.
so you should go. Find a girl that drives. When's homecoming?
28th of October.
You better get to it. You better find a girl.
It's August.
When
I think
I asked her what Riz meant, her response was, "Stop, I'm dead. There's no way you just asked me that."
Yeah,
That's funny.
that's about right. If you asked me that, I would have said something like that.
All right, Christy, I'll send you a candle too, just for having to ask your daughter that. They were, because Dayton said he was buying one. And then I had two that were already bought to give away.
Oh, wait. What? Doesn't count. I didn't know that. I thought you
Yeah,
only-
Sage went every year. Phoenix never went.
Phoenix didn't go once.
Show up with a girl no one knows from another school.
I was going to do that, actually.
Why?
I said I was going to do that.
Who?
A girl I know.
Who?
Doesn't matter.
Why don't you ask Kira to come out?
You going to fly her out?
No.
I'm not flying her out.
His girlfriend from North Carolina should come out.
Actually, I think she has a boyfriend now.
Does she?
Think
She
so.
dissed you?
I didn't want her.
She dissed you.
No, I do not. I
You
literally.
17-year-old. Woo woo.
I did not want her.
Why? She was adorable.
Okay.
I thought she was all into you. She wanted you to fly out in October.
She still does.
Not if she has a boyfriend.
Well, I don't know if they're dating, but like I think something going on. I don't know.
All right. Go to bed. You got chemistry in the morning.
Waiting on my. How do you know that?
Because I know everything.
No, I told you, didn't I?
No.
Yes, you're
'Cause I'm
smiling.
smart because I'm mom.
Who's my teacher?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Go alone and brag about not having to pay for a date. Oh, that's a good one. All right. So the 3 winners: Truth It Out, Christy, and
Muscles.
Muscles. I know, and it's just me and him, Amber.
I know.
Isn't it weird?
Weird.
Lock the front door, by the way. We always forget to lock the front door because I'm like, someone's going to walk in. I know. I try to tell him that, Zelda. He doesn't listen. He doesn't believe me that moms know everything.
I don't believe you on what?
He just doesn't want to buy it.
I don't believe you on what?
What?
I don't believe you on what?
That moms know everything?
Moms don't know everything.
Yes, we do.
What's 5 times 5?
Doesn't matter. 25. I know what 5 times 5 is.
What's 9 times 9?
I'm not getting into math.
Exactly.
Nope. That is not math. Is not everything.
Okay, so moms know everything, right? Who's the girl that I'm talking to?
Her name is a girl's name. She has a female name, and she's short. She's shorter than you are.
Well, that I hope so. I'd hope she's shorter than me. If she's taller than me, that might be a problem. She needs to go to the NBA.
See, there you go. See, I already know.
No, that's not her.
And she likes dogs.
I don't think so.
Everyone likes dogs.
I don't think she likes dogs.
Oh, lie. Get out. Go to
I
bed.
think she's a cat person.
Ew.
What sport does she play?
Ew.
What sport does she play?
Basketball.
No.
Volleyball.
Yeah.
See?
How tall is she?
6'2".
Fuck no.
I don't know.
So you don't know everything.
I will once you tell me about her.
Who said I'm gonna tell you about her?
I did. It's me and you, kid. You have to tell me about it.
Actually, I don't think her dad likes me at all.
Why?
She's mentioned me once and she got grounded instantly.
Oh, stop.
No, I'm being so for real. She
Go
got
to
her
bed.
phone back. She was like, "Sorry, I told my mom and dad about you. My dad took my phone."
Mhm.
I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, 5'6".
5'8".
5'8". That's a good height. That's what I am.
You're short.
Oh, stop. Go to bed, Jolly Green Giant.
You're still too short.
Jolly Green Giant. Yeah, a lot of their friends are strict. The funniest was his best friend got in trouble for playing basketball instead of going to the tutor. He got grounded for like a month.
2 months.
2 months.
The whole summer, actually.
It wasn't that whole summer. You saw him over the summer.
He lost his computer.
But can you imagine that, though? Supposed to go to class. You're supposed to go to your tutor and you're playing basketball instead.
Yeah, he skipped because they don't take attendance. You just show up and ask for help. That's it.
Oh, he's going to do better this year. I have faith in him.
I'm looking at places to go to college to. That I could do football, that they're really good football team, but also have an architecture program.
You should be a cop, like Uncle Bobby.
I don't want to be a cop.
Why?
I want to be an architect or a football player.
You what?
Architect or a football player.
I thought you said a poker player.
That'd be cool.
So you could be a football player as an architect. I don't know. I just kind of see you as a cop.
Why? Because I'm tall?
What?
Because I'm tall?
No, your personality. I see you like an
What is that
undercover,
supposed to
like
mean?
an undercover DEA agent.
Undercover would be cool, but
Then again, you're too easy to spot.
what's that? Because I'm too tall?
Yeah.
Like
Don't
I
be
said-
something, but yeah, his latest thing, he wants to be an architect, which is a pretty cool job. He could build me a house.
Give me a house.
But I don't know. For some reason, I see you as a cop.
I can't see myself as a cop.
I could never see Uncle Bobby as a cop, and he did 25 years.
Is he retired?
Yeah.
How old is he?
54?
God damn, he's old. I thought he was younger.
No, he's 50. He's 2 years older than me.
I thought you're 52. Damn, you're old.
Don't tell anyone.
You're old too.
No, I'm 39.
Okay. You're old.
You're old.
Not really.
You can be 16 soon.
I know.
The big 1-6.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do for my sweet 16?
Oh, what?
Nothing.
Okay. Sweet. Sweet.
Actually, I don't-
He would make good living as an architect.
you think so?
Oh, they make good money.
Or a football
Just
player.
don't become a serial killer.
Or a football player.
Just don't become a serial killer.
Football players make good money.
Football players make money, but they also have get head injuries.
I've had a head injury. I ate through it. I was fine.
Did you guys see the
George Foreman?
George Foreman movie on Netflix?
No,
it's really good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's really, you should watch it with Aiden. It's really good.
Like, I'm telling you, football players' average salary is like $668K for my position. Starting. Average salary.
Honey, the odds of making it into the NFL is the same as winning lotto.
No, that's actually not true. You want to know how? Because there's one lottery winner.
Mm-hmm.
Only one. There's a few hundred people drafted.
And there's a few 100,000 every year that tried to get in.
Okay, but you also have to realize half these people who want to go in are like 5'7". I'm 6'6" almost.
There's a lot of big dudes.
I know, I get that. But you also have to realize, like,
You're not 6'7", you're 6'5".
I said 6'6".
You're 6'5".
I'm almost 6'6". I've put in my permit. I'm 6'6". It's on my Twitter too.
You're 6'5".
6'6". I'm 6'5" and like 2.5.
A jolly green giant.
I'm not jolly.
I would have loved to see your dad's face, to know that you were 6'5", looking down on him.
Like this?
He was shrinking.
Yeah, he was like 5'9", 5'10", 5'11".
Nah, not NBA, NFL. Yeah, he was shrinking.
But I'm telling you though, if you just believed in me.
I do believe in you, but the NFL is a joke. I mean, like, the odds of getting in it are so slim that you can't put all your eggs in that basket. You have to have alternatives.
I architect my alternative. My main goal right now is to work on a scholarship.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Get my college paid for.
Okay.
For football.
You can do that with education too.
But education is honestly, to get an academic scholarship is harder than to get a athletic scholarship.
Oh, it's not?
Yes, it is. You want to know the athletic scholarship requirements?
What?
A 22 ACT and a 2 GPA. You can look that up.
Okay.
Any colleges, unless they're Ivy League or something, like FSU was a 23 with a 2.7. Ohio State's a 2.0. UA is a 2.0, all with like low 20s ACT scores. Think about it. If I consistently have a 3.5 GPA, okay, that's better than most football players. I already have teammates who are failing. I'm not even close. I'm hoping to get at least a 27 on my ACT.
So you try to get over 32. Aim high.
I know. I'm saying my goal. I'm getting at least a 27. I already have ACT prep next semester, next 9 weeks.
Does now you guys agree with him?
What?
Because he thinks I don't believe in him. Because I don't want him to throw all his eggs in the basket of let me join the NFL. Or let me get recruited by the NFL. I want him to do his grades. I believe in him 100%. But getting into the NFL, throwing all those eggs in that basket, it's a little unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic at all.
What position you play?
O-line.
What?
O-line.
O-line? Offensive line. Thank you, Morgs. Morgs agrees with me.
Well, she's wrong too.
And so does Zelda.
Well,
so
she's all third wrong.
Nope. We're all right.
No.
Has he been noticed by us as a standout already?
Yes.
Yes.
I have Alabama A&M and a few other schools from around Alabama. I also have the Jacksonville State, who's a D1 football school in Jacksonville, Alabama. Their head assistant recruiting coach follows me on Twitter.
I agree with you for the reason my husband didn't accept either. It beats your body up and ages you early. Absolutely. You send him now to some training school other than high school. No, he's in high school. He's only in 10th grade.
Yeah. The biggest competition I have that I actually have seen on Twitter. Not my biggest competition. Some like really good player I've seen. He's a 3-star. He's 6'5", 325 pounds, and he can play all 5 offensive line positions. And he's like 17.
There you go.
It's like a junior.
Like a side football. He does football training. You have to understand. I live in Alabama. They fucking live, breathe, and eat football.
Yep.
It's
That's why-
crazy.
That's why I focus so much on football here. It's because it's such a big thing here.
I mean, Alabama's all about college football. All about it. And you have these parents that are so over the top. Like,
Talk about Sheldon's
their
parents.
kid's gonna make it in, and oh my God.
Talk about
horrible.
Sheldon's parents.
No, I'm talking about a lot of parents.
I mean, if you want to say my goals are unrealistic, you know, Aiden wants to go pro boxing.
He's small. He's fast. You never know. I wouldn't let you be a pro boxer either.
Why?
Because it's dangerous?
Architecture is dangerous.
No. NFL is.
Yeah, Aiden. He doesn't. If he worked hard enough, I support him, but he doesn't work hard enough.
Gee, who does that sound like?
Not me. I work out twice a day. I lift in the morning. You want me to go show you my schedule?
No.
Because you clearly don't believe me.
I believe you.
And by the time I get home, it's 6 o'clock. I got to eat and go to bed.
Yes, sir.
Like, I'm telling you, you don't believe.
I do believe.
You just doubted me already. You doubted me as soon as I said something. You said, I wonder who that sounds like. I work out twice a day, 5 to 6 days a week. Aiden works out 3 times a week.
You know what, P? I told him that. Go into the FBI.
Fuck no. That job is so boring.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Aiden's friends, like Aiden's parents' friends, know someone who's in the FBI. He said it was the most boring. It was a great job, but it was boring.
Depends what he did for the FBI. By True Texan, it depends what he did
if
for
you're
the
not
FBI.
doing a case or something, you're just on paperwork. That's exactly what he said. If you're not actually doing a case at time, which is not always the case, you're going to be doing something so boring it makes you want to quit.
Okay.
The FBI just doesn't sound fun to me.
Okay.
And a police officer, I get to yell at people and get people tickets. Like, that's fun and all, but like...
Well, it's more than that.
Well, yeah, but like, still. I can't see myself driving in a car, pulling someone over and giving them a ticket.
Okay.
Or in an active shooting or something.
Okay. And don't be a cop.
Speaking of which, did you hear that at Journey, there was a generator that blew up?
No.
That caught a fire at the middle school?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, there was.
All right. It's late. Go to bed. Love you.
Love you.
Give me a kiss.
That's not how.
I get you. I get you and your little doggy too. It is though, Monica, but not really here. New York it is, but not really here. Dane could be so many things. I can even see him like as a teacher. He'd be a cool ass teacher. So, I don't know. Something's wrong with me, man. I've been so tired lately. Usually I'm up to like 3, 4 in the morning. Not lately. Lately, I'm like in bed by 12. So, all right. I'm going to get off though. I'm finished wrapping some candles. 3 winners. Email me info where to send the candles to. And I will get them out. Not tomorrow because I got to get all these orders out tomorrow. But I will definitely get them out Thursday. And that's it. So thank you guys for being here. Betty, quit while you're ahead. Stop making yourself look like an idiot. And I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. I do that. I never get the kiss or the hug. I know. Ever. I saw Sage last night. I was like, where's my hug? She gives me a hug. Phoenix started classes, by the way. He loves it. He said classes are doing good. You've been running. I know I have, but I don't know. I went to the doctor yesterday. There's nothing wrong, but I just feel like I'm so tired lately. I was like, usually I'm like, go, go, go. And I'm just exhausted. So, all right. I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. And have a great night. And peace out, bean sprouts. And be nice to each other.